In the 21st century, the issue of sustainability is a growing concern. Sustainability is based off the viewpoint that everything we need is directly or indirectly dependent upon our environment. In New Jersey, one of the chief concerns of sustainability involves deciding how to develop an industrialized area with the least amount of impact on the environment. Frank Lloyd Wright once said, "The good building is not one that hurts the landscape, but one which makes the landscape more beautiful than it was before the building was built." Here at the Unitarian Universalist Church in Galloway, New Jersey, is a building that exemplifies the possibilities of sustainable construction.
It's a open-loop geothermal heating and cooling system. It has 4 water wells, unlike the system at Stockton, which is a closed-loop system where the coolant material goes down into a borehole and comes right back out. We actually use well water. It comes out of 2 ways. On the roof, I don't know if you've talked to anybody about that, but there's a 10.5 kilowatt solar electric array that you probably should photograph if you haven't yet. Yeah. And that system provides about half of our electricity. It would be all of our electricity, but the Trex. These are your plastic garbage bags, your recycled garbage bags at work.
And what about
the siding is a cementitious product called Hardy Plank. It's a combination of cement and wood waste, like sawdust from sawmills. So it's a partially recycled product. It's incredibly durable, so that's kind of a long-term waste avoidance issue, and it also takes paint extremely well, so it avoids painting and repainting and repainting. Something you can't really see is the concrete foundation. A large part of this is kind of real wonky stuff, but a large part of the concrete in the foundation is actually slag and other waste material from electric power plants that's pulled out as a pollutant that otherwise would go up as soot and stuff like that and have to be landfilled. And there are a number of places now that are mixing it with concrete. It actually makes a better, lighter, stronger product. And we also made sure that we sourced this as close as we could so we didn't have to haul this heavy concrete a long distance. But it turned out there was somebody relatively nearby who had access to this stuff. There's no question about that.
Someone said the roof was made from recycled tires or something of that sort?
Recycled plastic, including recycled junked car bumpers. That material we couldn't get locally. It comes from Ohio. There's one plant. And I guess the reason that we're really pleased about it is it has a very high hurricane rating and a very high fire rating, which probably helped with our insurance a little bit. But it's all recycled materials.
As a result of increased interest in sustainable buildings and concepts, organizations have developed standards, codes, and rating systems that help consumers and builders understand a building's environmental performance. The measures used to award certifications represent a broad range of categories and criteria, including energy and water use, the internal environment, which is the health and well-being, pollution, transport, materials waste, ecology, and management processes.
There are hundreds of green building certification rating systems used worldwide today. The first was BREEAM, the Building Research Environmental Assessment Method, which was introduced in the UK in 1990. The U.S. Green Building Council's Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, or LEED, rating system was introduced in the U.S. in 1998 and is based largely on the BREEAM model. In 2005, the Green Building Initiative launched Green Globes, which is an adaptation of the Canadian version of BREEAM, and introduced it to the U.S. market. Later, in 2006, the Living Building Challenge was introduced by the International Living Future Institute. Most green building rating systems take into account sustainable strategies implemented on a number of fronts, namely sustainable site development, water efficiency, energy efficiency, responsible materials use and disposal, and indoor environmental quality. The Living Building Challenge, though, is the only rating system that requires net zero water, net zero energy use, and avoidance of all toxic materials on the project.
It's a complicated application, to say the least, and I wasn't involved in this, but I saw some of the paperwork that was, going to be a part of it. And it's a very rigorous application, and it involves a lot of paperwork that has to have a lot of facts, and you have to have if you don't have it within, you've got to have experts to kind of help you with that. And there are actually people who do consulting. They make a living out of enabling people to get it.
So we know you guys aren't LEED certified, but do you guys have any other system certifications that you know of?
We are in the process of getting Energy Star certified with the EPA.
And what does that entail? What's the process with that?
Right now it entails me finishing up the certification.
I think that after paying special attention to the sustainability strategies on your project, which are often just a result of good, tried and true, timeless building design, working with the environment instead of against it or trying to seal the building off from it, a lot of owners find it valuable to go ahead with the documentation and certification process. Getting that certification allows owners to prove to themselves, their peers, their competition, and the public at large, really, that they are committed to sustainability. They value the triple bottom line of people, planet, and prosperity, and that they were able to target and achieve a reduction in negative environmental impacts with their project, and hopefully even create some positive ones.
Although the church is not yet officially certified, they will eventually reach this achievement. Their dedication to both the environment and to make their community aware of the possibilities and practicalities of sustainability is more than evident. Margaret Mead said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever does." This church, although only a small part of a big world in need of a great change, contributes not only to the more sustainable landscape here in Galloway, New Jersey, but also contributes to a landscape of hope. It stands as a beacon of knowledge for anyone interested in further understanding the need for sustainable practices, and it stands as a model for future generations seeking to live in harmony with the natural world.
One of our principles has to do with respecting the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part, so that we are very much into sustainability, to what's happening to the global environment, and how it's not just affecting us, but affecting all living things. And so that's really one of our core principles.
I can see sustainability and spirituality being linked in some ways, in that sustainability is about meeting the needs of the present without compromising the needs of the future. And if you're a spiritual person, you have a strong inner value of yourself as being connected to a larger community, a higher power, or just the global human community.
Sustainable development is a system that connects space and time, and in order to preserve the earth and its many inhabitants, we must realize that anything we do today will impact the space of the future. As we continue to construct towns and cities and create buildings to call a home, buildings to conduct business, or buildings to create community, like the Unitarian Universalist congregation of the South Jersey Shore, it's important to do so in a way that encourages environmental responsibility. Certification systems such as LEED or Energy Star are available to guide designers in the right direction, although a building can still be sustainable without being certified, as long as it makes its best effort to use renewable energy sources for its lighting, heating, cooling systems, to get its building materials from recycled products if possible, and to encourage green practices such as minimalizing waste or conserving energy. Our future depends upon constructing a strong foundation out of sustainable building blocks.